Hello, this is Dr. K. In this video, we're going to talk about web application security. The material is loosely based on Chapter 12 of Head First Servlets and JSP, 2nd edition. These are the three main kinds of bad guys that the servlet security techniques we talk about here are going to address. There are impersonators who pretend to be someone else, upgraders who pretend to have more access than they really do, and eavesdroppers who listen in on communications between the client and the server. Let's run through that list again, this time with a little bit more visual input. Here's an impersonator pretending to be Mr. Nice Guy when he's not, and the server is just blindly accepting his claim. Here's an upgrader. He's just a regular member, but he's pretending to be a premium member so that he can get a discount on purchases. Finally, this guy is probably the most dangerous. This is an eavesdropper. He is listening in on the conversation and is ready to steal valuable information. Servlet security focuses on four main concepts that address the three kinds of bad guy. Authentication makes sure the user is who he says he is. In web application security, this is mainly accomplished by asking the user for a username and password. Authorization is used when there are different levels of access for a website. This is almost always true, since at a minimum there's some kind of administrative access above and beyond the normal access. Authorization ensures that the user is cleared for a particular level of access. For both authentication and authorization, the server must have access to some kind of lookup table. It could be a database that contains usernames, passwords, or their hashes, and the groups they belong to. Confidentiality and data integrity are both used to neutralize eavesdroppers. Confidentiality ensures that the data you are sending to the other party is private and that only they can read it, even if it is intercepted. Data integrity ensures that the data you receive is the data that was sent. Sometimes, even if a bad guy can't read the message he intercepts, he may be able to selectively send you only a portion of the message. Data integrity ensures that you know when somebody has tampered with your message. In web application security, confidentiality and data integrity are both handled by SSL. There are two broad ways of dealing with security in web applications. Declarative security allows you to tell the container what kind of security you want by using the deployment descriptor or servlet annotations. Programmatic security allows you more control. Security methods are used inside of your code. They allow you to check for or change certain security parameters. In this video, we're going to focus on declarative security. In addition, we're only going to look at the settings in the deployment descriptor. Some of these can be replaced by servlet annotations, but you should still know how to set things up in the deployment descriptor. Let's jump right into what the portion of a deployment descriptor that addresses security might look like. The deployment descriptor has three main elements that address security. First, we have the login config element. This addresses authentication. It tells the container how it should authenticate the client, which usually means how it should ask for a username and password. The security role elements in the deployment descriptor list the access levels or roles that are available for users of the application. These must map to groups that you create on the server itself. The security constraint element defines the security policy for a specific set of resources. This portion of the deployment descriptor can often be replaced by servlet annotations if the servlets are defined reasonably. The security constraint element contains three separate sub-elements. One, a web resource collection element that defines the resources to be protected. This relates to authorization. Two, an auth constraint element that indicates which roles have access to the resources. This also relates to authorization. And three, a user data constraint element, which indicates how data is transmitted when using these resources. In practice, the data is either not secure or it is secured using SSL. This relates to confidentiality and data integrity.